To have faith is to trust yourself to the water. When you swim, you don't grab hold of the water, because if you do, you will sink and drown. Instead, you relax and float. We cannot be more sensitive to pleasure without being more sensitive to pain. No work or love will flourish out of guilt, fear, or hollowness of heart, just as no valid plans for the future can be made by those who have no capacity for living now. Reality is only a Rorschach ink blot, you know. I owe my solitude to other people. Trying to define yourself is like trying to bite your own teeth. But I'll tell you what hermits realize. If you go off into a far, far forest and get very quiet, you'll come to understand that you're connected with everything. Unless one is able to live fully in the present, the future is a hoax. So then, the relationship of self to other is the complete realization that loving yourself is impossible without loving everything defined as other than yourself. Zen does not confuse spirituality with thinking about God while one is peeling potatoes. Zen spirituality is just to peel the potatoes. You are that vast thing that you see far, far off with great telescopes. But to me, nothing, the negative, the empty, is exceedingly powerful. And the attitude of faith is the very opposite of clinging to belief, of holding on. But we try to pretend, you see, that the external world exists altogether independently of us. Omnipotence is not knowing how everything is done, it's just doing it. The religious idea of God cannot do full duty for the metaphysical infinity. The difficulty for most of us in the modern world is that the old-fashioned idea of God has become incredible or implausible. Technology is destructive only in the hands of people who do not realize that they are one and the same process as the universe. The only way to make sense out of change is to plunge into it, move with it, and join the dance. Never pretend to a love which you do not actually feel, for love is not ours to command. I have realized that the past and future are real illusions, that they exist in the present, which is what there is and all there is. You don't look out there for God, something in the sky, you look in you. But the attitude of faith is to let go, and become open to truth, whatever it might turn out to be. You and I are all as much continuous with the physical universe as a wave is continuous with the ocean. The ego is nothing other than the focus of conscious attention. Saints need sinners. No valid plans for the future can be made by those who have no capacity for living now. Faith is a state of openness or trust. We identify in our experience a differentiation between what we do and what happens to us. The reason we want to go on and on is because we live in an impoverished present. A myth is an image in terms of which we try to make sense of the world. So what is discord at one level of your being is harmony at another level. What the devil is the point of surviving, going on living, when it's a drag. But you see, that's what people do. If you study the writings of the mystics, you will always find things in them that appear to be paradoxes, as in Zen, particularly. But at any rate, the point is that God is what nobody admits to being, and everybody really is. The moralist is the person who tells people that they ought to be unselfish, when they still feel like egos, and his efforts are always and invariably futile. Religion is not a department of life, it is something that enters into the whole of it. Wars based on principle are far more destructive. The attacker will not destroy that which he is after. Buddhism has in it no idea of there being a moral law laid down by some kind of cosmic lawgiver. The style of God venerated in the church, mosque, or synagogue seems completely different from the style of the natural universe.